Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Tosh Customs, and we are finally going to get a comments from a customizer on the Mezco Robin figure. I actually have had this figure for like 2 weeks now, but I accidentally shipped it to my old address, and so it took me a little bit to get the package back. But we're finally here. I intended to make this video a while ago, but as you can see, I had a little bit of shipping issues. But my address is updated now. Mezco is not going to send my pre-orders to the old address anymore. And hopefully very soon, I will have the Superman, Batman, Flash 3-pack here for you. In a review, and I have some really cool ideas for those guys. So hopefully I'll be able to get some really cool customs out to you with all of those figures, actually. I plan on using all of them. I know some people are going to sell the Superman and sell the Flash. I got some stuff cooking, and I've been waiting since 2021 to make these. So it's been a long time coming. Honestly, I'm glad that they finally shipped like 2 years after release. But a fun little thing is because this shipped out in October, Mezco also sent with the package a little mini Gomez Halloween spooky thing. You know, normally with exclusives we get a little Gomez thing, but this is not this is not an exclusive, and two, it's seasonal, so it's cool. So I figured I would open it on camera because they invested in a whole new little packaging thing and whatnot. So let's see what's inside. Oh, this is sick. Also, I'm not sponsored by Mezco in any way. This is just something they send out to everyone, or should be sending out to everyone. We have a Happy Halloween Mezco pin here. That's cool. Yeah, like, wow, they went all out. We got three Mezco Halloween stickers. It looks like we have a zombie, a witch, and a just little mini Gomez. I was really hoping that this was going to be the Grave Digger guy that they recently released. That would be a cool little crossover promotion, but it's not. It looks like just like a default zombie. And then we have hopefully a spooky mini Gomez up in here. Maybe as a pumpkin Halloween head. Okay, your normal skeleton guy, but oh, look at that. He comes with a little skull hockey mask. And he also has come with a little mini machete, just cast in some gray plastic. So that's actually kind of cool, because we also don't usually see paint applications. They actually have paint applications on this mask too. So sorry, the Robin packaging is eating up the frame there. So we've seen quite a few of these little guys. We've seen some Gomez with the little roach head. We've seen black ones, pink ones, blue ones for that. More recently, they have sent out ones with this little black skull, and I have one that's wearing a top hat, and I think that's from the Black Skull Death Brigade. And so I have one with a top hat actually at my desk right now. And this is a fun little Halloween spooky one we get. And let's see if the mask can actually fully fit over the head. It's a little bit of a stretch. It's a bit tight, but you can fit it completely over the head there. So there you go. That is your Happy Halloween little Gomez, mini Gomez Mezit. So check that out. It's pretty fun. All right, enough of that. Let's actually get to Robin. Let's get to the juicy stuff. Let's see how Mezco stands up. Have they made improvements to their capes? Have they made improvements to the articulation? Have they made this figure better? If you guys are familiar with this, you open the figure with me and we talk it all out. Packaging wise, this Robin is supposed to be Damian Wayne. So we do have a picture of Damian. Not everyone's favorite Robin, but I think in the comics they have been doing a good job of creating a redemption arc and some very actually engaging stories with this character. So I don't mind the fact that this Robin is Damian Wayne. You know, clearly Mezco also just a little while ago announced that they were making a Nightwing. So it makes sense that, you know, hopefully we'll also see a Red Hood in the future. So here we go. We have the packaging as normal. We have two clamshells here. We got the main figure and the main accessories. We have a Robin base. It looks like we have his bow staff here, his katana, as well as a grappling hook on a wire. That's really cool. They have been doing some more on wire stuff. I think the Wonder Woman, the Gal Gadot Wonder Woman, had her lasso on a wire. So that's pretty cool. And then it looks like he's got a wrist gauntlet maybe down here as well. But I like that addition of on the wire. I think some new Spider-Man have some webs on a wire as well. So we like that inclusion. We don't like loose string. We like wires. Big ups. Big ups, big ups. So we'll talk about that later. Let's get everything out and let's get down to business here. The whole point of comments from a customizer, if you guys haven't seen this before, is I make a lot of Mezco customs, especially as of the last couple years. And so I want to look at companies and give them a genuine critique about how they are performing and things that can do better or worse. I don't know if Mezco cares about this, but hopefully you guys do, because as a customizer, our goal is to take a figure or to take a character or to take an idea and make it come to life, make it better than can be mass produced. And that's the whole point of having something handcrafted for you to, hopefully guarantee utmost quality. And so companies are, competing with that, or we're competing with companies. And so how does a company that has factories and people and many more resources, they should be delivering very, very good products, especially for a Mezco that comes at a higher price point. I believe this guy was $85 or $90, and then you include shipping and tax and everything, and he turns out to be like $112. So here we go. Here is Robin straight out of the packaging. Let me get that zoom correct. Let's get that camera angle correct right there. It will not focus on his face. Jeez, come on. There we go. Focus on his face. I know some people said the head portrait looked a little big. We'll see that, but right now we have the cape over everything. They have a nice amount of plastic sitting between everything so we don't get anything sticking. I'm honestly very surprised that they have him installed with the cape. I don't know. He's got some alternate heads, so I should be able to just pull this back a little bit and reveal the full head sculpt. Honestly, a little bit tough. It's a little bit tight around the head because of all the hair. As you can see, the hair is actually catching on below the hood there, but there we go. We have that. We also have some plastic under the neck, as you can see, so we're gonna pop this head sculpt off. Can we pop the cape off too? Man, there's so many layers on this. The cape feels really, really thick though, which is cool. It's on like elastic somewhere. It doesn't want to come off, I don't think. Oh yeah, you can see there's some elastic around the arms. Okay, so I need to pop it out from the neck and then slide it off the arms. What a strange way to choose to keep the cape on the figure. I don't know if instructions come with this, but this is very odd. This whole thing's a little bit odd. I understand that they did it like this to keep the cape over the shoulders, but I think you could have sewn it that way and it would have just been fine. We've seen Hot Toys create over-the-shoulder capes, or that are supposed to drape over the shoulders. Kylo Ren, for instance, from Rise of the Skywalker, Return of the Skywalker, whatever it is. And his was just sewn. Yeah, like look, this is sewn to already be over the shoulders. You could maybe like run a wire up here or something, or like around the collar, and that would suffice. It's already sewn to be over the shoulders. I don't think this is necessary. This makes it a pain to put on him. A little bit odd, but a very, very thick, it looks like 2 layers here, actually 2 synthetic layers. This is synthetic and feels screen printed, as well as this feels screen printed. It's faux leather, obviously. We have a wire in the back here, I think. We have a very loose wire running down the spine of the cape, and then we have some loose wires up here on the cape. They hold their shape very well, but they feel light. But that's not too bad at all. Yeah, do these have it? Interesting. This one, oh, this is so odd. This stitch right here has a wire in it, but this one on this side doesn't feel like it. Yeah, look, this one is thicker. You can literally see the wire inside this one here, but this one here doesn't have a wire. I wonder if that is a factory misprint or that's important. I think this is, because 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, this one should have a wire. Mine they just didn't slide a wire in it. Okay, quality control, no wire in there, go figure. There is a wire in the hood though. You can bend it and whatnot. It does, because this fabric is a little bit thick, as you can see, it's quite a hefty layer right there. Because it is thick, it doesn't want to sit down very well. In all reality, you're probably gonna have to put it over and then just plop the head sculpt there and just use sort of like the back of the head and the hair to just keep that cape down, or that hood down. So yeah, it feels like a very durable material, and it's definitely an upgrade from previous Mezco capes in that regard, and Mezco hoods. But I think it should have been two materials. I think going for a lighter, maybe a lighter material with the same finish, you know, just a thinner faux leather, if that was possible, would have been good. Granted, this feels much thicker and much healthier of a faux leather. Older faux leather has a tendency to crack. Right now, this feels like they invested into this material. And if the cost is the hood being a little janky, honestly, I'll take that. I'm actually quite impressed. You know, not impressed that I'm missing a wire, but I am impressed with the feel of this. It feels so much better. It even looks better. The sheen, it just doesn't look as fake as some other Mezco capes. So as much as I think there's work to do in this department, especially with these elastic bands, and even just like the shape of some of this stuff, I think overall it's pretty good. Sporting that classic bat look right there, as you can see, pretty cool. I think an interesting thing, though, is we've seen a lot of Damien recently without actually using the hood. The hood feels just a little bit outdated. I think they could have cut it off right here at the collar and actually just done this cape with no hood, and that also would have been acceptable. But hey, I'm glad that they did a two-tone. Super cool, too. So some big ups. They're making improvements. It's not perfect, but they're making improvements for the price point. So I for one, can appreciate that. So now let's pop all this plastic off. Let's slide this plastic out of the neck. It's really deep in there. And then let's slide this plastic out of the belt. Is this folded or is this, it's all one tube piece, man. I hate it when they do this. You gotta like pop the belt off or cut it or something. I might have to get scissors and cut this and whatnot. I know why they have to do it so that like it doesn't stick to anything. Wait, I think I can pop off this belt. Yeah, here we go. I found the button tab. There we go. Button tab off the belt. Boom. Slides off. Mostly like a dream. Then we'll take this and then pop it on back over again. Just like so. There we go. All right. Oops, sorry, it's not 100% centered. This material is all printed. It's actually, like normally there's some give and there's some flexibility. This is a very stiff material here because it's all printed. And you can see the layers are much thicker between there. This is cool though. It feels like there's actually a wire? I think there's I can't tell. It's holding its shape. Like when I bend it out, I just don't know where it's holding its shape. I think there's a wire in the skirt here, a very light wire in the skirt. So that's pretty cool. You get some dynamic, you get a little bit of option to dynamically pose it. Unfortunately, when you pull it like this, you can see it kind of hugs his butt a little bit, and that pulls the bottom of this skirt very tight. So you get essentially no back leg movement at all. Look at that. Just no movement backwards at all. You get plenty of forward range though, so that's good. But yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. Some really nice printing on the legs. You can see we got some lining and some knee pads and whatnot. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. Ooh, I have a string that's like stuck. You can see that it's stuck onto the leg there. It's like, yeah. And look at that caking on the leg. Unfortunate. Another quality control thing. Not a big deal. I can just scratch that off the surface and maybe dry brush it. Not a big deal, but still unfortunate to see. Once again, for the price point, you shouldn't be seeing stuff like that. There's just loose pieces of string and fabric getting into the boot assembly for who knows why. It looks like I can't tell what this is sculpted in. This is clearly painted. I don't know if it was just finished or it's sculpted or painted in this green. But the boot here is significantly shinier than the leg up here. So they're finished differently. So maybe this is cast in green and this is painted in green. Hard to say. Can't really tell. Honestly, everything looks painted on this. I think it is cool though that they did pick out the... Is that oil? No, I don't. It might be. Yeah, it looks like the finish didn't dry in here. You can see we got some very like liquidy sheen in there, and I can actually rub at it just a little bit. So maybe it looks like there was some varnish or something like that that didn't dry in those cracks there. Another unfortunate ding, but still fine. Yeah, definitely looks like everything is probably painted though here. So got the Got the boots, got the feet. Feet feel a little bit long. Here's how big he is. Let me put the head on. Oh, look at that. Scuff on the face. Scuff on the face from the cape. The cape rubbed off just a little bit and stained the face on both sides. Man, this is making it hard to love. It's making it very hard to love. I might be able to take something to remove that. But yeah, scuff around the face too. Dude, man, I want to give Mezco the benefit of the doubt. They're making some good choices, but man, they're hitting me with a lot of bad quality control right now. A lot of bad quality control coming out of here. All right, let's talk. Let's keep moving. Let's keep hustling through here. As you can see, once again, because of the wires in the cape, there are some indents right here on the surface. Little subtle, but definitely some indents right there into the printing, as well as you can see another indent here on the shoulder. A little bit of spot of dust, another indent on the printing right there. You can see some more striations running diagonally across. These runs running like this, that's just from this fabric here, and that's fine. But you can see that we have other imprint markings running diagonal this way. You can see some misprint right there. You can see an indent right there where it looks like stuff got squished down in the printing process because it's not symmetrical on this side. But you can see some more cuts on this side right there. So a lot of issues with their rubberized printing process on this figure. Gauntlets look really good. These are done out of a semi-flexible. You're not going to be able to like bend them all the way, but they definitely have a little bit of give, so that's good. They're not going to snap off. Huge dub. Hands pretty cool looking. We got some little hardened knuckles. I like the color scheme that they chose overall. I think this feels like Robin, but definitely updates and modernizes the look. It's based off Damien's first appearance, so pretty cool overall. Another bit of indent damage to the printing right up there. And something that does need to be noted is that all of this red here, this is all printed. All this yellow, this Robin symbol, all of it is printed. It is over a pretty thick black fabric, and then all of this is surface printing. I think, it's tough to not use surface printing when you're doing something this complex, but your printing process has to be really good. As you can see, these yellow straps that run across that are sort of supposed to act like buckles here, you can see how they're like super leveled up off the surface. And if they catch on anything, they will peel. Like if I picked at this right now, I could probably just pick it off because of how that is done. It's not bad, but you can definitely see, like when you look at it in the shadow, you can see that layer and it looks like there's a piece of yellow tape run across. So I think had they implemented some plastic and they could have pegged some plastic, some plastic pieces through that, it wouldn't have affected the articulation. As you can see, everything just kind of bends. And bend is okay. He bends he bends a little bit forward. He bends a little bit farther back. Really, that's how you do your bodies. And for all figure companies that have issues bending forwards, just sculpt the peg hole like down here at the ball joint at the bottom just a little bit bigger and just create a little bit more give. They just don't have enough give. And that's why you just can't get any ab crunch. Like there's almost no ab crunch in here. If you bend the head down, you bend like the legs up, you can like fake ab crunch, but like you want real ab crunch. So this is just a little too stiff for my liking on there. Articulation wise, double jointed at the elbows. Obviously where the articulation counts, it's all just done in this stretchy fabric. And it's nice that it's not as screen printed as stuff before. So you're not going to get like really bad stretching, but you can see here, once again, with any sort of type of stretchy fabric, when you bend it back, you're just going to get a little bit of bagginess, and it's just sort of up to you to straighten things out a little bit. So don't hold it in, hyper extended poses for too long, because you are just eventually going to wear out that material. Arm sculpt all the way. It's basic stuff. Whatever. Heads on a ball joint, up, down, side, scuffs on the face. Come on. An interesting thing that I just noticed is this mask is not actually painted. You can see a seam line right there. So this mask and the eyes are actually a completely separate piece. That's a really interesting choice on their part. I think it definitely helps in production. And I think it is because the skin, I mean, they've done it before, like with Red Arrow and stuff. So it's interesting that they chose to make it two separate pieces now. But hey, if it makes quality control easier in that regard, do it. Once again, scuffing in the face. You should not have packed him with the cape on. Throw in a little instruction manual, tell me how to install the cape, and put the cape separate, and throw it like in this second sheet here. Like there's places to put it. Or put it under the figure and put a separate piece of plastic and just have them like sitting on top of it. So, something. I shouldn't open this and it should already be scuffed. And because of this cape and because of how thick it is and because of this elastic pushing it down and holding it down, you get all these little marks everywhere. It's not good. Marks continue onto the back, as you can see. We have some more little press marks here. This lines, the sewing job, it's decent enough. It lines up relatively well. I've seen better. I've seen worse from Mezco, so can't really complain on how everything lines up. Everything looks good in the front. That's what matters. Everything looks good in the front. So there we go. So that's Robin in a nutshell. These are on Mezco sometimes puts square joints in their connections. Other times they put circle pegs. These are circle pegs, so you can rotate these out if you want to show the little bat fins more. You can rotate these side to side so that if you don't, because you get a little bit limited on like the thigh swivel up here. So if you need a little extra turn for your feet, you can twist and turn those calves at that joint a little bit more, or where the boot connects to the calf. So definitely some ups, definitely some downs with this guy. A little bit more downs than ups. I like this gold paint here. It's like a matte gold paint. Feels pretty standard for Mezco paint applications. Honestly, nothing to write home about, but it's a good belt design. Mezco does a pretty good job with adapting characters and adding their own little spin on it while still keeping it very faithful to source material. And I would say that here too. This black here has a little bit of printing. We've got a little bit, we've got good detail here. We've just complicated the Robin suit up a little bit with some more of like these hexagonal patterns across the skirt and whatnot. But it's a good way just to help define like faux musculature on the suit, and it still sticks very close to Damien's first appearance. So all in all, pretty good. It's what it is. It's not a fail. It's not a dub. It just is. So for what it's worth, I think at least on the design department, they did very well. I'm not sure on the quality. So let's get into the other stuff here. We have a batarang that looks like it fell out already, or a Robin orang maybe. Looks pretty cool, all just done in a gunmetal. Sculpting is really nice for how small it is. This plastic actually feels harder than some other ones, and this material just looks like it's a little bit thicker. And obviously the center part is thicker, but the wings also just feel a little bit thicker and a little bit sturdier than before. So I don't know if that is psychosomatic or they actually upgraded their materials, but either way, feels good. So nice for the batarangs. It's actually interesting because I have 3 up here already. I don't know where this 4th one came from. Maybe I got an extra. Huh. I have 3 up here already, so maybe they sent me an extra because they knew they had to make up for the face scuffing. Who knows? So I got an extra one there. So I got 4. Sick. Talking about some other batarangs, he's got these nice red ones here, and I think these are the ones that you can fit like into his fists, like not throwing, but more like blades, like dagger blades. So that's pretty cool. They look good. Got some, looks like just some black paint apps on one side. Not the other. Oh, it's actually sculpted different? Yeah, it's actually sculpted different. So they're sculpted asymmetric from side to side. So one side has the black paint, one does not. Interesting choice, pretty cool. Would have been nice to maybe like still see some silver across this edge to really emphasize that it's a blade, but that's something we can put in post. It's not criminal or anything. Most of this is just cast red plastic. So there you go. Pretty cool design. I like it. You could probably definitely redo these and use them for like a Batman Beyond if you want to do a Batman Beyond custom too. We also have a big old fat batarang that he holds in his fist and uses it like a double blade. I always like these. I like, look at that. We had just like a little plastic red nub that came off the edge there. So I didn't cut it very well. That's fine. But I like that he can hold these in his fists because there's a animated Batman scene in the Court of Owls where Batman pulls out like these larger double-sided like fat batarang knives and he fights with them. Like, you know, he'll cut and he'll stab, and he's fighting the Court of Owls. They're like zombies essentially. But I like that the Supreme Knight and now Robin get sort of like these dual-bladed, you know, quote-unquote karambit-esque batarangs. Fun little thing. I like it. Would have liked him to have two so that he could dual wield these. But it's all good. We get one of them up there. We have a batarang effect throwing hand, which is pretty cool. This is a Robin open throwing hand with the clear effect glued on, and then we've got a little batarang painted at the end of it. Talking about quality control, as we've seen a little bit, you can see that we have some gunmetal bits that are showing through the plastic. This one even looks like it's molded internally. I don't even know where that dot is. Yeah, look at that. It's like on the inside. You see that dot right there? It's like on the inside. But yeah, we've got some gunmetal speckles that have made it onto the clear plastic. That's really unfortunate. Yeah, that's tough. I don't have anything else to say besides that's tough. I like the throwing effect. It's very cool. I don't know how they do their paint process. This is something that needs to be hand painted, obviously. So however they're choosing to do pre-orders, however they're sending this to factory, just needs to be upgraded. You're paying $90 with shipping and everything else, you know, or you're paying $95 with shipping and everything else, $112. Paint issues should not be an issue. Should not be a problem that you're coming across. All right, we come to his bow now. He has this compound bow, and oh, this is cool. It's actually like a semi-functional compound bow. You can actually tighten it up. Does this lock at all? How does this work? Okay, okay, just by tension, you can kind of pull this thing straight. It doesn't really clip or anything like that. You just kind of pull it straight, and I think you hope by the grace of God that it stays. We have some metal pins in there, so that's good. At least you know that it will be durable. And obviously you're gonna, as you can see, I've already kind of stretched the string, and you can see how it's just a little bit worn now as it bends up. So yeah, that's pretty cool. Interesting choice to definitely have it as a string piece, and even that this bow can fold up. I don't know if he has storage on him. No storage here on the back of the belt, so I don't know if he's supposed to store it or if it's supposed to fold up anywhere. As we take more of this apart, maybe we'll find out. But yeah, he's got a bow. That's cool. We have 3 arrows here. These arrows have little notches for the string at the back, so you can actually have him interacting pretty well with these bows and arrows, with the bow and arrow. All 3 arrows look exactly the same, no different arrow tips or anything. We have a four-pronged barb on the tip with some red, black, and some more little feathering at the back there. From the looks of this is cast in red and then painted otherwise, and the reason I say that is because you can see some fading between the black and the red here. So clearly the black is painted over on the main part of the shaft, and then red is the primary plastic color. It's the most shiny, with some black feathers and then some gunmetal for the notch and for the barbs at the front. So there you go. Those are the arrows. Let's look at alternate heads now. So we've seen the first head. The first head is this sort of stoic face. I know some people have been saying the head's too big. I don't find it offensively large. It's definitely a little bit larger, but if you want to play into like he's a teenage boy, it's not the worst. I'm actually more offended by how big these feet are. Like low key, these feet are very thin and very long. It looks like he's got clown shoes. Like proportionally for how tall he is, these feet need to be cut off at like the little toe cuff. Like they need to be chopped by like a millimeter, maybe like 1.5 millimeters of length. These are just with this like steel toe at the end, it just makes his toes look, it just makes his foot way too big. It's comically large for how thin his body is. So that's a note right there. Also, I think this body internally is the Night Monkey body too. It's like the small double jointed teenage body. So a good choice there. Honestly, Mezco, along with that, your female figures, just a note, skip the single joint stuff. I think there's still some female figures with single joints. Just use this body and just remold the chest. Remold the chest, make it a little bit thinner, bring those arms in a bit, and just use this body. Like, it's just much better articulated. I don't know why single I don't know why female fingers still come with single joints. It's not like their arms are any different from the size of this guy's arms. But yeah, just want to throw that out there too. But yeah, I find the feet more offensive than the head size. But stoic face. Let's take a look at this one. We got it wrapped up in plastic. That's good. We like that. We like that. Protect the head sculpts. This one, we got like a little confident smirk face. I like that the eyes are different here. That's pretty cool. In comparison, let's compare these heads in terms of paint jobs and everything. Pretty comparable right there. Nice little red wash in the middle there. The hairline on this one is actually looks just a little bit cleaner than the hairline on the other one. Maybe I'm crazy, but I think the edge, like right here, just looks a little bit cleaner. Green, pretty much the exact same color. I don't see a difference. I don't see a finish difference. Looks 1-to-1. I like that the eyes change. We have a little bit of overpaint right there on the edge. Just slight, but it just bends over just a little too much. It crosses that sculpted line just a little too far. But pretty cool. I like that even the nose just looks a little bit more flared on this one. Really cool that they went all out on the expression side. I dig that a lot. Even this brow is just a little bit more furrowed than this one is here. Just the way they chose to do those paint applications, good subtlety in the sculpts. I like it. They didn't just model mouth to edge up. It looks like they actually did just slightly more. So we're about that. But yeah, I like that the eyes got remolded too. And that's probably why is that the eyes had to get remolded for multiple head sculpts, and that's why they chose to make them separate pieces there. So there we go. Last but not least, let's look at the third head here. Let's crack this puppy out. Looking at this head, we got an angry, scowling face. I dig this a lot. This feels like the Damien we all know and love. Once again, let's compare the jawline here. Perfect. It is extended farther down. We like that. Extends farther down. It's actually like his mouth is open. Once again, a change in the eyes. The brows come down a little bit more dramatic as well. You can see just a slight angle difference between those two. And obviously, eyes have changed. We got some nice paint application for the teeth. Mezco used to do teeth a little janky. They have definitely improved a lot in terms of how they sculpt teeth and the depth that they give them and the realism that they give them. I mean, the teeth, you can actually see how they're all individually sculpted in there. So good job to the people who modeled it. Bravo. I even like that there's a red wash. It looks like there's a red wash before they apply the white of the teeth. And so you sort of get like this lip and gum look around the edges of the mouth. So that's big ups too. For the paint, it looks like I just have a little bit of overshoot right there on the scalp and maybe some undershoot right there on the edge of the hair. It's not bad, but yeah, you can definitely see that some of this maybe could have been a little bit cleaner than before. Once again, the stuff is getting hand painted, so there's a margin of human error, but I mean, you can compare these two. They're definitely painted by two different people, or one was sleepier than the other because this edge looks sloppy compared to this one. Yeah. The hairstyles are just a little bit different. He's got some wisps of hair coming across here, but yeah, still that edge is not great. You can tell some hair is just painted going way farther than it's sculpted to. So it is what it is. But yeah, just want to point it out just so you know. Once again, you're paying a higher price. In terms of the hands, all cast in this green plastic. We got this nice texturing on the insides of the hands. I dig that a lot. That's very cool. I like texture. I like detail. So that's great. I love that it's on the inside of the hands, and then clearly, it's like sewn to be a secondary material up on the surface. Much smoother. We got that gray for all the little hard parts, the top of the hand, and then the knuckles too. So very cool. I like that. Mezco has been painting hands a lot more recently, and I respect that. Clearly, they don't have to, but they are, and they do. So that's really cool, especially considering that like all the Batman figures essentially just have like monochrome hands. So it's good to see that little extra bit of very specific detail. That takes a lot more time than just dry brushing something. So I like that a lot. We got some open splayed hands here. We have some small grippy hands for something. We got some circle grippy hands for something, probably sword, probably bow staff. Then we have other grippy hands. Who knows? And then we got some kind of like open gesturing hands too. Relaxed hands, I suppose. So yeah, so we essentially got 3 grips and then some. We got some 3 grips and open hands. So let's figure out what these grips do. So, you know, one of them probably holds the bow. You can probably put the batarangs in between these fingers. I don't really know which one's supposed to hold the arrow. I don't know. Does he have... Are these hands sculpted differently? Oh, shoot. I missed something. We have a gas mask here. Oh, snap. Wait. Okay, he has 1 open gesturing hand. Normal grippy ones. Oh, we even have... Okay, these sculpts are not even symmetrical. Okay, hold on. Okay, so this is the one for the arrow. Oh, so he's pulling it with his right arm. Interesting. That's cool. I expect him to be pulling it with his left. Or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know anything about shooting arrows. But I assume you're pulling with whatever's your secondary hand. Maybe you're supposed to pull with your primary. But anyways, okay, so clearly he pulls with his right. So maybe there's a fun fact about which hand Damien prefers. The other hands look symmetrical. We have this left open one, relaxed one, and that's singularly relaxed, just like the throwing hand is on the left. So we're definitely way offset in terms of symmetrical hands. So I don't really know what purpose this one serves in particular. And then these open splayed hands are, these open splayed hands are the same. Cool. Let's take a look at that gas mask, yeah? So the gas mask, okay, it looks like it's designed to fit over the closed mouth heads. So yeah, so they fit over both closed mouth heads pretty well. They're just made out of a soft plastic. You can see that the inside is molded really nicely to the face and the mouth. So that goes over pretty cool. That's a fun little thing. It's not, you know, because it's a soft plastic and it's not like a harder plastic, it doesn't line up 100%. You can see that this tab just, the edge could just be like pulled in a little bit more. But yeah, not bad. Really great paint application here. We're seeing like some, it's not even a matte gray. It's like a olive green, as well as the standard gray that, you know, more matches his visor. And even like the little dots here, little clips here on the side are picked out in a little bit of gray. So that's a nice little detail. It probably won't fit on the open mouth head as well. Oh, it actually fits. It might even fit better on the open mouth head. Check that out. Yeah, does a good job even fitting on the open mouth head. So that's pretty cool. I don't really know how they rectify the jaw situation with that. Yeah, it fits on all of them. Now I'm confused. There is a little bit more give right there. You can see there's like just a little bit more skin showing. So maybe it is supposed to go on the open. Yeah, it does line up. It lines up with the mask just a little bit better on the open mouth head. Huh, maybe it's supposed to be on the grimace head. Who knows? But anyways, gas mask. Woo, cool. So that's covering the main tray and everything in it. This tray, we have a stand and a couple weapons. So I'm going to just take a look at the weapons. A Mezco stand is a Mezco stand. Nothing to really talk about there. It's something that we've seen 1,000 times. This is a big old circle base, but wow, it's hard to open this. This clamshell is stuck on tight. Hold on, give me a second. Oh my goodness. Wow. That was a fight. All right. We have katana. We have a bow staff. And then we have a grappling hook on bendy wire. And we have wrist launcher. So let's look at the wrist launcher because that came out last. We have the wrist launcher here. This should, I assume this, yeah, this looks like it just goes around a hand. Actually, okay, the insides of the hands are the same. I was actually hoping for asymmetrical gloves just because it would help him look more like an archer. But no asymmetrical gloves. But we got this little piece right here. I assume you just slide this. Yeah, this is going to go over exclusively over the left. So maybe that's what that open sort of hand is for, as he's aiming this. But yeah, this one will just slide over the left, and let's do that right now. Why not? Let's do it for the camera. Do it for the vine. So line this up here. The fins slide through that indented slot. That lines up pretty nicely over the wrist there. Where's that open left hand? Let's grab this open left hand, because this open left hand is probably for this. And then you take our little bendy wire. It's got a little peg right here that plugs into the end of this launcher, just like so. And there we go. We have him deploying. Oh, here, let's throw a head on. We're not just dealing with the decapitated Robin here. There we go. That's pretty cool. That's nice. That's nice. I like that a lot. That is a fun effect. That is a good use of a grappling hook. And you can actually pose it with this. We used to get grappling hooks and whatnot that were on just string. It's like, how am I supposed to pose that? I can actually pose this. I like that a lot. That's cool. These spokes don't look exactly straight. Yeah, these spokes aren't exactly even across, you can tell. Some of these are just leaning a little bit off. This one in particular, right here, looks a bit off, but that's fine. It's whatever. Not a big deal. And then you can just, a little bit tough to pop it out, but we can pop it out. There we go. That's wrist launcher. Cool. Let's look at katana and bow staff. Katana, the blade is painted in a nice gun metal color. It's actually pretty dark. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more silver, but it's pretty dark silver right there. We got some gold paint application as well as a red grip. I assume the red, this is probably all cast in red. And then yeah, I think the gold is painted in there. But that's some nice detail with the gold inlaid into the wrap of the sword. Very, very Japanese in nature. Unfortunately, we're seeing just a little bit of overspray of gold right there at the bottom there. You can see that. Yeah, just a little bit of overspray around the bottom of the hilt. But that's cool. Surprisingly, no storage for any of this. I'm not sure if I'm missing something. Am I missing something? Yeah, no. Just no storage. No storage for the sword, no sheath. I guess he just carries this loose. Kind of odd. Would have been nice if he had like a sheath that could put onto his back or across the belt. It's a short enough sword that it could be like a wazashi and like a shorter secondary sword right there. Oh well, but it's cool. Very Japanese inspired, which is interesting to see. I don't think the League of Shadows is Japanese, or has a Japanese origin. But very cool, nonetheless. Very nice sword. Bow staff, also very cool. I like this a lot. Cast in black, we have some red and silver dappling out here. We got them extended on the edge of the staff. We have some little silver ringlets around the grip. And the grip is actually, you can see that right there. It's a different texture right there. So some very, very cool sculpted details across this thing. I think it would have been nice if the very end of this staff had silver caps on them. Like if we just took that silver gunmetal and brought that to the end of the bow staff, I think that would be really cool. But still, very, very nice looking overall. So the last question is, how does he stack up to Batman? So here we go. I have my favorite New 52 Batman right here, all dark, short-eared, and brooding as ever. This is a custom painted suit that I did a while back. My favorite Batman of all time. Just looks great. But we have, let's scoot everything. We've got Batman standing here. And now we have his biological son, the ever grumbling, angry, daddy issue Damian Wayne. Damian Wayne is surprisingly tall. This is on the Supreme Knight body too. Let's be clear. This is a hefty body. I mean, look at the shoulder proportions right there. Way, way wider than Robin is. Just a very hefty figure right there. Yeah, Damian is surprisingly tall. Almost feels a little bit out of scale, honestly. I don't know how old Damian is supposed to be in the comics, but I feel like a lot of characters used to make jokes that he was 12. And a 12-year-old, I mean, Batman's like 6'2" or 6'4". So Damian being this tall, like this puts Damian, and remember, this is Batman with the ears too, and this is Damian with the hair. In all reality, Batman's going to be a little bit shorter than this cowl, and Damian's top of his head is like right here. So really, like in scale, there's probably like a 4 or 5 inch difference between the two. And if Batman's 5'4", that makes Damian at, let's just say 12. For the heck of it, let's just say 12. 12, he's like 5'9", like 5'10". That is stupid tall for a 12-year-old. But let's just say he's 16. 5'9", 5'10". Maybe he's crossed puberty and he's getting up there. But still, definitely feels a bit tall. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy for saying that. Maybe I'm just wrong. But definitely seems a bit tall. Also, is that dust or okay, that was dust. Never mind. I saw a black speck. That was dust. But yeah, definitely feels tall for where Damien is supposed to be as a Robin, especially how he appears in the comics. But nonetheless, a good pairing. We got father and son now, both looking equally angry. I like this. This is my favorite sculpt on the Damien, by the way. I think the angry one just fits him the best. So that's probably how I'll be displaying him on the shelf. And yeah, I only bought one Robin because this is a very specific suit, very specific sculpt. I just didn't see any customizing potential with it in particular. So I only bought one just for my own personal collection. So I won't be reselling any. I won't be customizing on this body in particular. Just way too specific. But yeah, I think that really just brings us to the end. We have a size comparison. We can see Damien up next to his father. We can see the accessories. This figure is tough. It is tough. A lot of QC issues, man. Just with the cape, the scuffing on the face, the hair, all the indents in the printed suit. It is tough. The accessories are sick. A lot of stuff is done very well. And there are a couple things that you, with Mezco being where they are, Mezco has been doing these figures for a long time, and every release feels like they suffer from something, and they always suffer from something new. It's like they correct one thing, they correct their capes, and then they flub somewhere else, and it's just like I don't know how you do this. I don't know how you mess up something you did right last time and you mess up on it now. So I don't know. I feel like a solid 7 out of 10 for Damien. The articulation is good, the body's good, the detail's good. There's just a lot of very side peripheral things that you expect for the price point that just don't line up very well, and that's just really unfortunate. But there we go. Thank you for sitting through comments with a customizer. Honestly, I did not expect this to go for as long as it did. We're at 47 minutes right now. I thought this was going to be a really short one because it was a smaller figure, but a bunch of little things stacked up. So thanks for sticking with me through all of it. If you've made it to the end of this video, I appreciate all your support. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for supporting me. I do this as a hobby, so I just appreciate that someone cares to listen to me talk for, almost 50 minutes on a Mezco figure. So I appreciate you all very much. Thank you for sticking with me, and I will catch you all next time. Take care.